Hi, this is Phil Potempa, and welcome to another edition of Notoriety. Each week we bring you all the things you want to make sure you mark on the calendar, what's not to be missed. Everything happening in Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, and beyond. Of course, this broadcast for these past 9 years is the print equivalent, the broadcast equivalent of all the print feature columns and stories you'll see in the flagship Post-Tribune newspaper, as well as everything captured at chicagotribune.com underneath the media umbrella that is Chicago Tribune Media. I couldn't be here without the generous underwriting and sponsors that bring this show to life financially. Our friends at People's Bank, as well as the generous folks that are the arts advocates known as Andy and Sue Arnold, and of course our Home Away from Home Theater at the Center. For years, we also had Legacy Foundation and the Arts Commission. We thank all of them for making this broadcast possible. Co-hosting today with Tony Panek.
How's
Welcome,
it going?
Tony, back to the desk.
Thank you for having me.
Some of you are tuned in through our traditional radio airwaves, 12:30 a.m. on the radio dial, as we come to you from our Strachan Van Til studios, and others. You have the added advantage of all the cameras in the studio, so you get to see everything that's happening for our window to the world, and you see a returning guest with us. Hi, this is Bobbi Lauritsen, our director of the latest production, our friends of the East at Footlight Players, The Legend of Georgia McBride.
Yes.
So you'll see some feather boas contrasted with a headdress and a guitar, because this is a production that it's not done very often. So we're going to talk a little bit about selling this and see how the folks at Footlight Players are doing. My first time seeing it was in 2017 up in Northlight, up in Skokie. They produced it. And I was drawn to the show. It's got a great story behind it. And I think, again, some folks are thrown from the hook that is all of the kind of, the hook that is the flamboyance of the feather boas and the drag queen aspect. But it's a very simple story. And I'm going to let you give us the thumbnail because I don't want to give away too much. So give us that synopsis.
So the story is about an Elvis impersonator at a dive bar in Florida. And the bar owner brings in a drag act, and one of the drag queens can't go on one night, and the Elvis impersonator is told, either go on in drag or you're fired. So from there, it's his journey into drag.
And the community that it is, and the tight-knit, and really what is a profession that it might look silly and over the top, but it is an art form in itself, correct?
Right, yeah. Drag is an art form and a protest. And this is, I was watching some other interviews recently from other teams that have done the show, and the playwright actually was talking about how he grew up backstage with drag queens, and that's what made him want to write this, because it's a window into that world.
That's Mark Lopez?
Matthew
Lopez. That's right. And Tony, I got my hand slapped when I did a plug in the column last week to help push it, because I referred to it as a musical, and Luke edited and left it that way.
Oh.
Let's make sure we correct it properly. It's not really a true musical. You describe it best as
a music-filled comedy. The queens lip sync, they don't sing, with the exception of one original song that is written in the play.
What a plot. I mean, it's very intriguing. Elvis has to do drag. Is basically
Elvis does drag, baby. Yep.
Wow.
You caught Tony's attention at Elvis because he dressed up as Elvis in the Progy Fest.
I did it. Yeah, just the basic Elvis.
Rick Kubik's tight white one-piece suit and strolled up and down.
Thank you, Rick Kubik, for that. Yes, but the Elvis jumpsuit. I mean, it's mine was a little more lightweight than what Elvis probably wore, but. That's no easy task to perform in that alone.
Well, we did, again, trying to not give anything away, but our Elvis jumpsuit is one of those lightweight, thin ones because of some other aspects that we wanted to occur with the costuming.
Of course.
But we have 40 costumes in this show, and there's only 5 actors.
It's a lot of changes.
So it is fast. So like your headdress, we don't have anything quite that fantastic because we don't have time to get them anything in something that fantastic.
And to practice that alone, to just get the timing down, that's got to take some time. all those changes.
Absolutely. We actually started with our costumes week 1 of rehearsals. And that's pretty early for most productions. So we started with costumes and then worked from there so that we knew that the costumes were going to work before we ever tried them.
As I said, I was happy to get this and push it in my Post Tribune column a couple weeks out because I knew it's something that is not just a brand that you're going to say, oh, a chorus line, oh, a Music Man.
Right.
The Legend of Georgia McBride, it doesn't just roll off the tongue, and there's not always that brand identifying with it to get folks to purchase tickets, even though they will have the time of their life.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
It's 80 seats at Footlight Players,
Correct.
right? So we want to fill all those seats up. But again, I saw it last time in 2017. I'm pretty usually kind of well schooled in what's being produced at these theaters because I have to, again, shout out and put it in my columns. Anybody done it that you know of in Northwest Indiana?
Not since I've become aware of it. I first saw it in 2023 during Chicago Theater Week, and I have literally traveled as far as Colorado to see it since then. I've seen it 4 times because
Really?
I just can't get it out of my
You
head.
went all the way to Colorado.
I
just
went
to
to
see the
Colorado.
show.
We made a trip out of
Okay.
it. We made a trip out of it. But yes, we. The reason we went to Colorado is because it was the next place that I could find that was playing
Do you
it.
remember who did it during Chicago Theater Week? Do you remember what company it was?
Arlington Heights.
So
I think.
that's also a hike. That's a bit of a trek.
Yeah. But
And this is all before you knew you were going to be producing
this
right?
this was the first introduction I had to it at all. When we went to see it in Chicago or outside Chicago, we were just looking for shows to see during Theater Week, and I read the synopsis and I'm like, oh, this has an Elvis impersonator. My mom will like this.
Yeah.
And that was the whole reason why we went. And then you get there and it is such a fun romp and it is just such a great story. And then there's other things that come out in the conversations between the characters that are just so much more important than the comedy.
There's humor
even.
and there's a bit of a drama. There's
Yes.
there's a couple subplots. Now, are you on the play reading committee that is
Yes.
Footlights? So this is one that you kind of could sort of target for them. And they said, "We'll work it into a season." Then, of course, you had to be front and center to get the
I
directing
fought
part.
for this
Yeah,
one.
Good
I
for
fought
you.
for this one.
Give us, we're time for that commercial to say the dates, the times, Footlight Players, websites, all of those things. Now,
The show dates are April 9 to 19th, Thursday through Sundays. The Thursday and Friday shows are at 7 p.m. Saturday and Sunday are 2. No evening performances on Saturday and Sunday. The website is footlightplayers.org. And if you don't like to make online ticket purchases, you can also call our box office at 219-874-4035.
and the viewers and listeners have heard this many times from me. My disclaimer: you can take a chance and show up night of or after a performance, but there is no guarantee with those 80 seats once they're full. And again, it's not that far to get out to Michigan City, but you want to plan your time wisely, and it would be awful to get there and they say, well, let's see, Mr. Music is a no-show, but usually
Right.
everybody is a show. So do them in advance, right? That's
Yes,
the best
please.
way, then you're guaranteed.
Right.
And I'm seeing we're flashing some of the still images too of the show. 80 seats, very intimate
Very
theater,
intimate.
and sometimes that's the best theater, wouldn't you say? Because everybody feels like they're kind of in on the show themselves.
No, exactly. That's just it. You get to feel all of those emotions with the actors.
And so with that shot that we're seeing there, I see kind of a bit of a couch apartment area, and then I see all this costuming. Would that be the stage space off to the side? Because that's
So we have on stage left is the apartment of Joe and Casey. Stage right is the back room at Cleo's bar. And then down the center is a runway where they do their drag performances.
all of that.
All that on our
stage is
tiny,
about as big as
tiny-
our desk here at WJM. It's a small space.
About 26 or 28 feet across.
And you gotta
we've
utilize
got
that
basically
space to its full
3
potential.
sets in the one stage.
And then I like to always tease the folks at Footlights, and I say, yeah, but fortunately, get backstage behind the curtain, and you have all that huge, vast area in the wings, which is also not the case, right?
No.
There's not much room back,
Which is great for
either.
costume changes, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, there's literally we've had to let the cast know that if you are not changing costume, get out of the way because there's not much room back there at all.
The space is so great. Well, we had the poster flashed up for those of you that are found us through your streaming and you stopped along the way to see what's all these feathers and guitar have to do with the price of bread. You'll see that it's a great logo. It looks like somebody, I think, maybe designed that for you. Or is that the one that comes with the script package?
I did that.
You did that.
I did
That is so. That that's not enough to draw attention. You've got some of the starbursts, but then also you got what looks like Elvis,
Right.
A little bit more of exaggerated eyelash, and
Right.
then those lipsticks. Quick glance, you might think, wait, are they doing Always Patsy Cline? No, this is the Legend of Georgia McBride. If you say I've not heard of, that's because this. I want to say, I bet you were doing a Northwest Indiana premiere and don't even realize it. It's because it's
And
not
I-
been around
no.
that long, has it, for licensing?
It's, I think, 20, 2015, around there, I
You
believe.
were seeing all those regional theater,
Right.
and then it takes another pecking order before it gets down to
Right.
community theater, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I know that I actually saw it in Bloomington last fall, but as far as Northwest
Yeah.
Indiana, I'm not certain.
Bloomington way
a little
yonder,
drive.
but around here, you're not going to see it. So this is the chance again to see it. It's just these couple weekends of performances, so there's not a lot of time. Starting on the 9th, which is just around the corner.
Yes.
Are you dangerously close? You're kicking up your feet with an umbrella drink because everything's all coming together, or no, it's down to the final pinch and you're sweating it out here until that curtain goes up.
You know, you can never assume it's all okay. But our rehearsal last night, I cried. It was, it's not perfect yet, but it's there. You know, all the pieces are there, and we have such a phenomenal cast that they are all like well known in the community and such great actors, and we're just so lucky to be able to put together that team. And they've all really brought all of their knowledge and their experience and their passion to this show, and it really all comes through.
I promised Tony you could ask this question because he kept asking me about if it was hard to cast it, right? To find people to step into these high heels.
That's no easy task, right? You got to
In
walk
Northwest
around
Indiana.
that. Yeah.
It was actually a little bit difficult to cast, and I have a theory that part of the reason why casting is so difficult right now in the area is because we are so oversaturated with theater, which is a great problem to have. But there's everyone that we would contact would be like, oh, I'm already involved in a show. I'm already committed to a show. I would love to, but I can't. Maybe not all of them said I would love to, but it came down to we found the right people. So even though we did have to search for them, it was definitely worth the search, and we got every right person in the role.
You know, it does seem like there's been a lot of programming. I know even with just helping get the word out in columns and booking this show space, Footlight seems like you've got a full spring. Now we have Holdcraft Players. It seems like they've got a full schedule, and you get LaPorte Little Theater, 4th Street Theater. All of you share the same kind of area, and what's great is you share a lot of camaraderie. Did you have everything you needed? Or did you have to go knocking on the door to say, hey, do you have about 18 feather bows we can borrow from you?
That first week of rehearsal where I said we worked on costumes, we actually, Marquette High School Performing Arts and Canterbury Theater in Michigan City both welcomed us into their costume departments, and we just tried on stuff. Yeah. So we started with our costumes, went through their costumes. We, believe it or not, hit up Goodwill and got a lot of stuff that way. My mother actually is our seamstress for the show. So she did a lot of alterations for us, and she zhuzhed up a lot of costumes for us.
Well, I know you mentioned that you didn't have headpieces that were quite as elaborate as this one, but talk to Tony after the show. That's his personal piece. And he might let you borrow it or loan
My
it.
normal office.
That's why his hair looks like it does. He just
That's why
took
the
it
hair
off
is messed up.
here and put it on the dressmaker's head there. But besides, the costuming, the story, sometimes we just need a diversion from the headlines of today that have all of our heads spinning. And when gas creeps up to $4.39 a gallon, come out to what is a great ticket price. Aren't you always around $18 or $20, something like that?
We're at $17, and our Thursday shows are $12.
Wow, that's
price.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
For what is an experience that is a one-time opportunity. Yeah, there is 2 weekends of performances. Every one of those performances, I guarantee you know as a director, will be unique.
Oh, absolutely.
Being if there's just a little maybe original add in here or an ad lib or a little misstep, it all incorporates in the show, and it just makes it that much more wonderful. Since you are part of the playwriting committee, Do you mind giving us a crystal ball, little tease of anything else that's up and coming?
Sure.
We should know from out east.
Sure. Our next show in June is the Miss Magnolia Senior Citizen Beauty Pageant, which is one in the series of 4 Old Broads plays that we've been doing.
Oh yeah.
And then we actually just announced our upcoming season for the 26-27 season, and we are doing The Foreigner, Visiting Mr. Green, the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged, and do Black Patent Leather Shoes Really Reflect Up.
Wow,
That's
that's
classic.
not been done in a while. Yeah, we have a number, I think, of small desks and small chairs if you ever need
Oh,
to
okay,
borrow
great. I will
any
keep that in mind.
storage as well, because we like to help out everybody at the Center for Visual and Performing Arts here in Munster and Theater at the Center as well. So we're a part of your collaborative community, and we neglected to mention our friends at Dune Summer Theater. They're always great, too, with helping out your way. Your season that you just announced, remind us, is it all a la carte pick and choose, or you can also do subscriber and just get all for one price?
Yes and yes. You
Okay.
can purchase tickets for any and all shows individually, or we do offer a patron membership, which is available on our website. We have not opened it for next season yet, but it gives you, for one price, gives you a gift of 5 tickets that you can use over the course of the season, however you choose to. So not necessarily one per show if you don't want to. You can use all 5 of them on one show, or however you want to
Had
do
a great
it.
lineup. I mean, you mentioned Shakespeare, and that
Right.
wasn't easy to read. I don't know about you, Phil, back in high school, but the dialogue is totally different.
The
But
3 of us might know this. We had our helping hand long before there was internet and Wikipedia, called Cliff
Cliff
Notes.
Notes.
Do you remember these little yellow booklets? You go to Barnes & Noble or Walden Books, and you weren't supposed to use them. And the teachers would always say, I'll know that if you only read the Cliff Notes version, because I'm going to purposely ask a question that has such detail you would have had to have read the original. But those are kind of your companion piece. You'd use that. That's the way they were intended to be used. You could
Right.
read it and then reread this and would kind of explain all of it. But you're right. There was a lot going on. I want to give a quick nod here to our friends. And I know you make it into Chicago a lot. They have a big opening at Chicago Shakespeare Theater. It'll be this Friday, press opening for Merry Wives of Windsor. Chicago Shakespeare, that can be considered a theater stage classroom. They have helped spoon feed Shakespeare to so many folks and audiences of all ranges. It's not just for highbrow. And you leave in a way that you understand everything just from that fantastic ensemble of actors there. Do you make the Navy Pier much to see anything there once in a while?
I've literally never been to Navy Pier.
You've never-
I've lived in Northwest Indiana almost my entire life, and I've never been to Navy Pier.
That's a field trip for you to do. There.
I know.
That's-
I'm
Colorado,
ashamed.
you
I'm
can
That's
get-
right,
ashamed.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy one-stop shopping, and certainly one last time as we wrap up here, give us that Vanna White roundup again of the name of the play title, play run, and all of those good details.
Okay, great. So we are presenting The Legend of Georgia McBride, April 9th through 19th. Shows Thursday through Sundays. Thursday and Friday shows at 7, Saturday and Sunday at 2. Ticket prices are $17, and the website is footlightplayers.org.
Very good. And again, an opportunity to see a production that's not so often produced. You can take it from me. So make your arrangements right now and get out and have some fun and enjoy what's going to be a lot of feathers and sequins, right? And a dash of
Absolutely.
Elvis.
And,
And
the
a
king
dash
of
of
rock and roll.
Elvis.
Yeah,
That's
of course,
right,
you got to
exactly.
see it. That
Bobby,
version.
come back again soon, all right?
Great, thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you to co-host Tony Panek.
Thank you.
Thank you to our producers also and everybody here at WJLB that helped get us off and running here. We want to make sure we do our timestamp on this show depending on when you're catching it. It is being captured on Tuesday, April the 7th, in case it's a rebroadcast, or you could be hearing it in a different time slot. We want you to be able to make your plans accordingly for all the dates and times that we have talked about during our broadcast. I'm your host, Phil Potempa. We wish you well, no matter where your path might take you, morning, afternoon, or evening.